Hi everyone, and a bit of a change from normally painting bits and pieces. I've just got a new toy in the post today. It's landed in with the first batch of these, and there's not been so much about these that I've seen online. Certainly, from the photographs we've seen, it does look quite like my BD11. Just obviously used with some more budget friendly material choices, which makes an awful lot of sense. Not everybody wants to go out and spend, you know, three, four, five, six, £700 in a competition touring car. I mean, certainly I'm probably not quick enough to warrant one. Certainly my young fella who this is for um probably won't benefit from carbon fiber this and titanium that and machined aluminium. But I was curious to see just how this compares. Obviously, more budget friendly, um, and with a really good, I mean, recommended retail price of £220 in the UK. Um, Looks like really good value. So first thing is, it's going to take me a while to get it built, but we'll open it up here, have a quick look inside, see what we think material wise and everything else, and see where we get to. Obviously everything as you would expect with proper exploded drawing, instruction manual, parts and everything else. Again, we'll get through to this whenever, get a proper look at this whenever we're start the building process. Okay, a couple of nice decals and bits and pieces there as well. Pop that down for one side, and now into the nitty gritty of it. Again, packaged as you would expect from a Yokomo, just all nicely done, nicely laid out in the corresponding bags, 4 steps. I'm curious, I suppose the big giveaway to how the car's origins are will be the chassis. Okay, nicely made out of fiberglass, and the matte finish like we come to expect with the BD11. Everything all countersunken as you would expect. And just if I grab my BD11 now, come here you. I suppose like anything else, we can see just how close it is. Some slight differences. Looks like a slightly longer wheelbase, just from where some of the mounting points go up. So not an exact copy. It is slightly longer, about 8 or 9 mil, than the BD11 carbon chassis. Again, would make the car slightly easier to drive. Width-wise and everything else looks absolutely bang on. So it isn't just a excuse the term, carbon copy, although it's fiberglass. Okay, so what else do we have in here? Okay, obviously everything you'd expect. Shock oil. Turnbuckle wrench is quite cute actually. Getting various tools that obviously we've been racing for a while, we don't need those, but still nice to see that they're catering for somebody being their first kit. Probably I would have thought that the majority of people building this, it'll not be their first kit. Obviously it's a little bit more complex than a Tamiya would be. So bag 10, just the first one that comes out. Threaded composite molded shock bodies. Yeah. Option of pistons, diaphragms for the shocks. Those nice silicon clear shock sides. I'll try and go through this numerically if we can. 4, 7. Okay. Bag number 1 is suspension mounts. Obviously these on the BD11 are lovely aluminium machine components, which, yeah, really good for a serious racer, but it's expensive to make. These look like composite molded, quite a grey plastic, so I'm going to assume that it's quite stiff and quite a high carbon content in them. Bag number 2. Yes, these will be the differential housings. Again, in the BD11, these are machined aluminium, beautiful pieces of engineering, but you know, for the majority of us, probably unnecessary. These look to be, again, a molded composite, albeit there's the motor mount, which looks like cast aluminium. Good to see, good to see. Bag 3 then. One of the big differences in this and the competition car is the competition car comes with a spool on the front. This comes with 2 differentials. Seals and everything in there. So obviously capable of oil, and the components in there look remarkably close to what I'm familiar with. Excellent. Yeah, even down to the steel out drives and everything else. Very nice. Bag 4 then. I'm looking at this, a 48 DP spur gear as opposed to the 64 on the competition car. It's much easier to live with, much easier to work with. Equal length belts in the car. Full ball races as well, which is nice. And again, molded composite parts where they're machined aluminium in the BD11. Bag 5, servo saver. Again, nice to see adjustable turnbuckles. They're steel in this, they're aluminium in the BD11. It's fine. Servo saver and everything else. I mean, yeah. Bag 6 then. The top deck comes in 2 separate pieces there. Again, that GRP material. And that looks like the motor mount, or the top of the motor mount, which again is the GRP material, but again nicely finished and just looks like a really nice bit of kit. All hex on head hardware in it as well so far. Bag 6. Bag 7. Shock towers that again on the other tower are carbon fiber. They're molded composite again in this. I mean, that's a stiff plastic. That's really nice. Yeah, same ball studs, same hardware. Steel turnbuckle again. Yeah, cool. Bag 8. This is the bit that I was mostly curious about. Simply because if I'm running this, I would be very much appreciative if these components, the very breakable components, would be the same. So I'm only carrying 1 set of spares for both me and the young fella. Yeah, they look. Rear hubs look identical. They're used a blade drive shaft again to protect the outdrives. full bearings, and 2 sets of universal joint drive shafts. I mean, they're not even universal joint, they're CVD drive shafts, constant velocity drive shafts. Yeah, wow. Okay. This again is a big difference between this and the BD11 with its carbon fiber wishbones, which are a beautiful piece of engineering. How necessary they are, I don't know. The RS1 comes with a molded wishbone in it, most likely off an earlier car. And but boy, they look chunky. They look. I don't think I'd be too worried about bringing a set of those as a spare, because I mean, they look like they could nearly withstand an explosion. Excellent. Bag 10 again is the shocks that we looked at earlier on. Oil filled, adjustable, different pistons in them, threaded bodies, composite, not aluminium. I mean, until we get a bit silly with things, I can only imagine they'll do every bit as good a job. Yeah, superb. Okay. Bag 11 then has this with stuff that we know, exactly the same as I have in the other car. Foam front bumper, molded lower bumper, molded upper bumper. It has that little air vent underneath the bumper as well. Somebody better than me, you can probably notice the difference. I don't, but I'd quite like to see it still. Bag number 12, again, same battery strap, battery hold down, so you have the same adjustability there. 4 slightly different size LiPo sets. Little tiny rail tube and cap for the 2.4 gig radios. Yeah, excellent. Oh, bag 13. I don't know why I wasn't expecting opinion in that, but lo and behold, there it is. I wonder what motor that's going to be good for. It looks mid-20s, mid to high 20s. I'll get a count on that. But yeah, serrated thread lock wheel nuts. Okay, again, they're not clamping hex drives, but I mean, I think we have to be sensible about this at some point. Yeah. Oh, and bag 9 that I managed to forget about, again, is suspension mounts, which are molded composite. Really, really nicely made. They look, inserts in them for, yeah, little ball inserts for the end of the hinge pins to allow flexibility. Yeah, I mean, probably something that's worth having as a spare, to be honest. I mean, they're probably going to be the consumable item in the car. The hubs look good, wishbones look good. Something has to break, especially with the market that's aimed at. So probably they're going to be the sacrificial components. But yeah, it's nice to see that insert in them to stop wear. Yeah, grub screws to hold the hinge pin in, grub screws and grooves in the hinge pins to keep those in, so you're not dealing with E-clips everywhere. I mean, yeah, that's everything in that. I mean, that to me looks incredible value. All the important bits and pieces are there out of the box for a club racer. 2 oil-filled differentials, oil shocks that look like a nice design. Certainly if they work as well as the aluminium shocks on the big car, that's brilliant. Plastics look really good, look really stiff. And yeah, the whole thing looks like it's, yeah, and if it builds as nicely as the other car did, really looking forward to it. Now, at the time of recording this, we have our first race meeting for the indoor season on Saturday. I was going to give the big car its first run, which obviously I'll still go and plan. I would love to have this built if I can, and give it a run and have a comparison to work against. But certainly, if it builds like the BD11 builds, but is easier to drive, this looks like an absolute winner. Yeah, as with anything, like, comment if you want to, subscribe if you can, to keep in touch with what we're doing build wise on it. Yeah, and like I say, have a look at your local hobby stop for one of these. They look really, really impressive, especially for the price point.